Hi, I'm Greg Weiss of The First Few Seconds. Enjoy this short snippet of my interview with Andrew O'Keefe, author of Hardwired Humans. Andrew, one of the instances is loss aversion, and in your book you write, we screen information for loss versus gain. Now, some of our viewers have lost their job. How can you help them with their feelings?
Yeah, so it does help to make sense of our range of experiences. It also says that any change, there's a lot of myths around change, and one of the great myths around change is that change is necessarily bad or to be resisted. So even in terms of job loss, whether the consequence of job loss is good or bad for any one individual will drive their response to that. So it would be understandable that when the possibilities of job loss, when it might have been first raised or first heard about in the organisation, then people's responses are going to be different. It'll be different based on their quick anticipation of the future. For some people, job loss with a separation or redundancy package might be a most wonderful outcome for them right now. You know, those people who would say to themselves or say at home, thank goodness I didn't put in my retirement notice last week. I've now been offered a package to leave the organisation. I can't believe my good fortune. And there's variations on that. There'll be other people where this is a particularly negative consequence right now. So yeah, and then really the advice to organisations as well is to don't try to alter the person's point of view or dress it up as being something better than what it is. If there's an individual who's feeling poorly about that outcome, then that's absolutely legitimate for them not to be tried to be spun or positioned as anything other than that. Where it will also help is to know that if we can't, when we first hear about something or we're interacting with other people and we can't yet know or classify, is this situation good or bad, we will err on the side of the negative. So people who, in a job loss situation, might be applying for positions, let's say, they're not hearing back from people who they've sent their application to, and let's say there's a role that they very much want and a lot hangs on it, then it's handy to know that our erring on the side of the negative or the loss will be if we haven't heard back from that organisation, then we will err on the side of perceiving that as bad. So one of my nieces recently was applying for a permanent position. She's a teacher doing temporary work at this particular school, and she applied for her role being now made permanent. She made an application. The process was that she was to be informed prior to school holidays that she would know prior to going on school holidays whether she had an interview or not. Now, school holidays comes along this particular time and she has not been informed anything. Because human nature being what it is, she's convincing herself that she's been unsuccessful. Now, based on human nature, her helpful uncle Andrew, I was able to advise her that Sarah, just be conscious that you don't have any information actually to make up your mind about that. It's understandable based on loss aversion that you would perceive only negative news in no news. And so I was encouraging her to suspend judgment, waiting to know actually maybe it was just a case of the person who was supposed to do that piece of work or that step didn't get around to it before school holidays, and back at term that happened to actually be the situation that she found out unfortunately someone hadn't been able to do their piece of work. Good news is she got a job interview and got the permanent position.